10 fragrances my fiance is obsessed with. I really can't get away from these because a lot of times I try to ask her what she wants me to wear, so that way she's smelling something that she likes on me. As you guys know, being that I have a channel like this, I'm testing new stuff and different stuff all the time, and a lot of that stuff may be things that she's not really interested in, she doesn't like the smell of. So when I have some free time and I'm not currently working on testing anything for a review or whatever, I kick it over to her, let her decide. And it's always going to be one of these 10 here. She loves these, she can't get enough of these. Her taste tends to lean towards the fresher side of things, although a couple of these in here may surprise you. And also, similar to myself, her taste is starting to gravitate a little bit towards some heavier, sweeter things. And you'll find a lot of times that's generally how it goes. Being new to fragrances, you may like fresher stuff and aquatics more at first. As you are exposed to more and more things, you start to get into that sweeter direction and things with more depth. And that's kind of what's happening with her here. And as we're moving into fall and winter time, we're going to see how this list may change if we do this one again here in a few months. So I will provide links to all of these down below to discounters as per usual. You can save money big time by shopping with discounters, and you can also save a ton of money by utilizing my community tab. Check that out. Posting there every day, multiple times a day, the best deals on fragrances around, everything from new stuff and rare stuff and discontinued hard to find things, and everything in between. So get subscribed so those posts show up. Check back to it multiple times a day. We're going to start it off with an indestructible bottle, Dior Sauvage Very Cool Spray. So I could drop this on the ground right now and have a 0% chance of it breaking. So that's pretty cool. Makes it great for your gym bag, great to throw in a book bag and a briefcase and a suitcase, whatever. You just don't have to worry about this. Now, believe it or not, she really enjoys Very Cool Spray. I do as well. This is a situation where it might be kind of weird because you may look at this and think it's nothing more than a deodorant spray or something like that that only lasts like 12 minutes and then it goes away. But this is an actual eau de toilette concentration in a aerosol, basically. So I'll demonstrate this really quickly. Let's get over here to the corner. Like that. So you can hold down and it just keeps on spraying. And believe it or not, it varies a little bit from the eau de toilette, being that it actually uses some more bergamot. It's brighter and less overly, I don't know, synthetic in the way of the original eau de toilette uses a ton of ambroxan and black pepper right off the top. It's very sharp. This one's actually more smooth right off the opening, and it's utilizing the bergamot to a heavier extent. This is going to be my fiance's preference out of all of the Sauvage flankers, and again, I really like this one too, and it works out great. I leave a bottle of this in my truck all the time, so I always have it. I can reapply, and so it's just a really nice one to have around. And also, it performs really good. It's an 8-9 hour scent. Legitimately, you may not think so, but again, it's an eau de toilette concentration and the stuff is very strong. Next up, we have Parfums de Marly Greenly. So we're not going in any order. I handed this video over to her and she put all these in. So the order that you see these is the order that she actually typed them down and put it into the list here. Greenly, it's got apple, it's got cashmeran, a bunch of oak moss. I've told this story before, but I got this one in, sprayed it up in the air. She was sitting across the room, and just a couple seconds later, she was like, okay, what is that? You know, and I don't always get that reaction. She's been exposed to so many things, as have I, that it's not always every day that you get a reaction like that. She really enjoyed it right off the rip. It's a nice fresh one here with a lot of green accords to it, so it makes it a little bit more spring and early summer appropriate, even now kind of moving into fall, because it has some slight variances of sweeter leaning notes, some notes with depth. It's not just straight up freshness all the way through. It's a really, really versatile one to have around, and a little goes a long way. Knock out that other niche fragrance here real quick. Also should be no surprise to you. Roja Parfums Elysium. Just wore this one the other night. Actually, it was my choice to wear this one the other night, and it's one that I still gravitate towards all the time. Also happens to be one of her favorites, so it works out in both of our favors here. Love Elysium in both concentrations. The Parfum Cologne. Either way I could go for, and I don't think most people outside of die-hard collectors are really going to have a preference. Like if you're going for mass appeal, either version is going to do. Most people won't be able to tell the difference. For me, I like the Parfum due to its added longevity, but I like the Parfum Cologne due to its stronger projection. So for me, I layer both of them every time I wear it just about. That way you get the best of both worlds. But it's one that my fiance loves. She's obsessed with this one, and this is one that she loved back before she was my fiance when we were newly dating. So not even technically my girlfriend yet, right? It's always been one of her favorites, and I think it will continue to be that way, and I'm okay with it. Another one that is no shock to me, Acqua di Gio Profondo. Kind of squeezing the last few wearings out of this one, an Acqua di Gio EDP and that sort of thing, as we're moving very, very close to the end of summer. Technically, summer is over, but weather-wise, no, not really. I can still wear freshies and stuff. It's been still in the 80s and stuff is high here, so it's been warm. So I get a few more wearings of this one, and I'm glad that I can be. I still remember getting this one in for the first time as soon as it came out. Did my first impressions first, so I was the first one to smell it, being that I opened it up on camera, had my fiance smell it. She also was hooked on it immediately. That's not always the case. Sometimes things have to grow on her for her to like it. Other times it's an instant thing, and it was instant with this one. And really, I think you're going to come across that a lot in the mass appeal department here. This is going to be one of the better ones at the top of the list from this line in particular. Really nice one with some unique mineral notes in here. I mean, this stuff is a winner all the way around. Even performance is good. Now, this one came as a surprise for me big time. Was my scent of the night last night at the time of me filming this, and this morning when I woke up, I could still smell it on me, and I could also still smell it on my shirt. When I picked that up, kind of was taking it to the laundry, and I'm like, well, you know, what does that smell? And I'm like, oh wait, it's on my shirt still from the night before. It's Afnan 9 p.m. So I don't know what it was that possessed me to wear this one. I think I was just in the fall mood last night. We were spending time outdoors, and while it wasn't straight up fall weather, in the evening it kind of was a little bit more. We were hanging out in the hot tub and that sort of thing, and it was a little bit chilly out. I was just in the fall mood. I was feeling good. I'm like, you know what? When I think of fall, I think of Ultra Male, and this is a clone of Ultra Male. I just went for this one instead because I do still really like it, because it's very close. It actually tones back some of the overboard sweetness. And so actually Alexis prefers this over Ultra Male. She even said it. She's like, I don't like Ultra Male that much, but I like Afnan 9 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, well, cool for me, because I like Afnan 9 p.m. too. And also, as you guys saw recently, my bottle of Ultra Male, I do have another, but my main OG bottle, hardly anything left. So I can give that one a break, give my other bottle a break, and go for this, which is about half the price. Also great performance, as you just heard. I woke up smelling this one, and you just can't go wrong. The presentation is amazing. Heavy bottle, heavier than most designer bottles. Like, it's heavier than the Acqua di Gio Profondo bottle, that huge 200 ml. This is a 100 ml, thick glass, heavy cap. This presentation is great. The scent, it's even better. Another one that is no surprise whatsoever. Look at that bottle light up. Hugo Boss Reversed. Vetiver, grapefruit, rosemary, and even though they don't say this, I get some ambroxan out of it. The note breakdown's pretty simplistic. Bergamot as well, if I didn't say that already, but a little bit of a sparkling ambroxan note up top there. Doesn't make it a blue fragrance, but you do pick up on it. Now, I've described this one before as being in a similar ballpark to Roja Parfum's Elysium, and I still do think that. I still subscribe to that thought. As I've had to clarify, I don't think that this is a clone of Elysium. It's not that close, right? But definitely inspired by and or just in the same park, in the same conversation. So in a roundabout way, if you want an Elysium personality scent, you know, something that kind of gives you off a similar thing but without paying near the amount of money, go for something like Reversed. Now, there are Elysium clones out there, but if you don't want a clone and you just want something similar, I would go for this. Even though I have Elysium in both concentrations and multiple bottles of each concentration, I've got it for days, years actually rather, I still wear Reversed. I like the added freshness. I like that it's actually more simplistic than something like Elysium. And so in the summertime, I really hit this one pretty hard. And of course, my fiance loves it. It's another situation where it was love at first sniff for both of us. Same thing here. Good old Versace Eau Fresh. It's tried and true. It's tested and proven to work with just about everybody. You know, it's not weird that I like it or that she likes it a lot or whatever. I mean, this is kind of one of those things that everyone, at least at the bare minimum, can appreciate that it smells pleasant. Now, you ask a niche snob, they're going to say otherwise. But if you were to get down to the bottom line and cut all the fluff, and you ask everybody, people who are telling the truth are going to say that at the very least it smells pleasant. If you don't like citrus and musky fragrances, then it's okay not to like this. But I still think we can almost all agree on the fact that it has a pleasant aroma to it. It's so wearable, so versatile, and just so mass-pleasing. I mean, it's kind of a tropical vacation-smelling scent, too. It's a feel-good scent, a lot of bergamot up top, a musk to a heavy extent, this unique starfruit note. I mean, what's not to like about this stuff? Yeah, performance doesn't blow people away, and sure, it's not the most unique thing ever, but in terms of just mass appeal and wearability, you really can't beat it. And it even comes in at a good price point, less than $50 for 100 ml. Sign me up. This one also actually surprises me, and it goes to show just how much my fiance's nose has been developing. I mean, again, this is going to be a citrus fragrance here, but it's a challenging one, you know. A lot of people struggle with this DNA. It's light blue Italian Love. This is a tricky one, like I had just mentioned it. The grapefruit is so strong. Now, she did choose this over Forever because the supplemental bergamot in this one does make it more wearable. I do think that she does like Forever, but this is going to be her preference. And for me, it's kind of become my preference. I still love Forever, but I like the balance in this one too. I would take either one, though, if I had to. Just give me this DNA, but, you know, I like Italian Love. It's a limited edition, not going to be around forever. And Forever is also not going to be around forever, ironically enough, because it's discontinued already. Super bummer situation here. Buy backups of these while you can because, again, contrary to the name of the first one, it's not going to be around forever. So in a way, it kind of surprises me that she chose this one, but you know what? I'm impressed. You know, we're all coming a long way here. And actually, to that note, also surprised about this one because it's another fresh one that does have some substance and some variance. It's not an Acqua di Gio. It's not a CK1. And nothing wrong with those fragrances at all. You guys know I love Acqua di Gio among all of its flankers, but they're very, very mass-pleasing and entry-level in the best way possible. Again, that sounds like a diss, but trust me, it's not. You guys know I love Acqua di Gio, right? But this one here is not that. It's a very herbaceous scent with orange and clementine and petitgrain and all these other notes going on that it's just not your everyday run-of-the-mill freshie. And it's artisan pure. So again, really surprised me that Alexis put this one in here. I just wasn't expecting it. I knew she liked it. But again, you know, it's one of those things where I don't know, it surprises me. I mean, she's been like, hey, wear this, you know, wear Artisan Pure. And I'm like, really? You know, it still kind of surprises me that she gravitates towards this one. And so in a way, it works out great for me because I love it. But in another way, I like it in kind of bits and pieces. I don't like it all the time, and she likes me to wear this all the time, so I kind of need my space from it because I do think if you wear something over and over again all the time, it starts to get kind of, you start to get used to it basically, and you get comfortable with it. I like this one because if I take some time away from it and then I come back to it, it kind of blows me away again, all over again. And so she requests me to wear it all the time. I like to take some space from it. But hey, also can't complain because I do really like it. Now, this last one is not a surprise for me. Not only will she request me to wear this one, I can't say request very well. Not only will she request me to wear this fragrance, Montblanc Explorer, but also Aventus is one that I like to wear personally all the time, and she also really enjoys when I wear it. So it's one of those situations where she doesn't have to ask or request. I just kind of do it on my own, and she's cool with it. But Explorer, believe it or not, is sometimes a scent where, in particular, she wants me to wear this one, like over Aventus or any of the other clones. There's something about this one that just seems to really click with her. I think it's the fact that it's a little bit stripped back. You know, the Aventus clones, as a lot of you guys know, there's a ton of them, and they've gotten really good, like impressively good. Club de Nuit Intense, Man, Parfum Limited Edition, fantastic. You could go with Afnan Supremacy, Not Only Intense, which is kind of an Aventus Hasselvat mixture, also just impressively good. All of the Parfums vintage stuff is really good, although expensive, still really good. And so this is going to be a little bit more brought back and bare bones. It's kind of like base level Aventus clonage, but it still works really well. Gets a little bit watery in the dry down. It kind of loses some substance as it dries down. That's my only complaint with this one, but it still does pull compliments like crazy. It's a good performer for a low price. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 fragrances my fiance is obsessed with. I feel like I can't get away from these, although I also really like all these, so I can't complain. Now, like I had mentioned, we're coming out of summer here, so a lot of these are going to be in the summer mood because, well, you know, this is stuff that she's wanting me to wear because summertime. And so we'll probably do this video again after we get a couple months into the actual cold season. I don't want to wait all the way until spring. Maybe, you know, in a couple months once I've been consistently wearing cold weather stuff. We'll do this again and see how her picks change here and what she wants me to wear going forward. Links will be down below. Deals all the time, every day, everywhere on the community tab. Get subscribed and don't miss out over there. I'm actually going to start doing some giveaways over there. Got a cool thing planned I would like to put into motion here. I'm going to do one giveaway a month of, you know, in a way that I think literally anyone will like. You know, fragrance giveaways can be a little bit tough because you might not always like it. This type of giveaway is going to be one where everyone will like what it is that's going to be given away on a monthly basis. Just a little spoiler alert, community tab, subscribe, all that. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.